Hi, this here viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. by 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. Our major stories right away as the senatorial election in Cameroon have been programmed for the month of March. Political parties and candidates have up to January 28 to deposit their files in election offices. And how is a political party in this edition of the news? And also in this edition, we take you to the West region, precisely in Bangante, where the people there are complaining of the absence of potable water. They say they now resort to water of doubtful qualities like springs and boreholes. Stay with us for details and more. Just told you in the headlines that the senatorial election in Cameroon has been convened for the month of March, and the political parties and their candidates have up to January 28 to deposit their files in election offices in the various regions. And the participation in a senatorial election in Cameroon is not limited to political parties with municipal and regional councilors only, according to a jury's days and other provisions as stipulated in the Electoral Code. For me, I'm Strong Sander. Tell us more.
According to Article 217 of the Electoral Code, each of the 10 regions in Cameroon is entitled to 10 senators, 3 appointed by the President of the Republic and 7 elected by regional and municipal councilors.
L'article 217 du Code électoral prévoit en son alinéa 1.
To a jurist, Dr. Louison Esomba, sub 1 of these articles stipulates that each region shall constitute a constituency.
Au scrutin de liste, sans vote préférentiel ni.
Sub 2 of this article, in a related manner, stipulates that the election shall be by a list system with no changing of the candidate's name or serial order and no vote splitting.
Un bulletin de vote.
Furthermore, the Electoral Code in Cameroon provides for gender balance and a balance in the sociological composition as outlined in Article 218.
Bon, imaginez vous avez
In an inside explanation, Dr. Louison Esomba says each competing political party provides a list of 7 candidates, and in the case of an absolute majority, the party's candidate automatically pass for senators. In the case of a relative majority, call it the absence of an absolute majority, the available seats are shared relatively among competing political parties.
Dans la représentation dans la région où se déroule l'élection.
Dr. Louison Esomba, however, insists that participation in a senatorial and regional council with another political party.
We'll be talking more about the importance of the Senate to Cameroonians, especially politically, economically, and also socially. That would be in the second part of the news. And councillors of Matoma is a location of the central region are set to be a loggerhead with the mayor of that locality over mismanagement of funds. They are also complaining about projects which are not yet executed. Our reporter, Malagla.
Bitterness, conflict, there is tension in the air. These are council members of the Matoma Council, Nyong and Kele division of the Central region, who are accusing their mayor of mismanaging the council funds.
Nous avons signé des délibérations à tout début de mandat.
We signed some project at the beginning of the mandate, but unfortunately was not completed. We now ask him how we manage the council fund, because we as well have the obligation to give an account to the people.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites à la mairie? Qu'est-ce qui a été fait? Qu'est-ce qui a fait?
The councillors, according to them, are divided into 2 groups, a group of 13 on the mayor's side and another of 12 considered as the Republican. The Republican, on their part, boycotted the first meeting and only attended the second.
Comme l'a rapporté le secrétaire général, il n'y a pas eu séance de travaux en commission. Et le 5, il n'y a donc pas eu séance.
There has been no meeting of deliberation and adoption of any project. We were once again called by the mayor for the same reason, just that there is no collaboration. Now I ask, has the Matoma Council session to vote the 2023 budget been held? If yes, good. If no, how do you explain the fact that some councillors had already received their council allowance even before the holding of the council meeting?
Que des conseillers municipaux aient déjà obtenu, alors que la session ne s'est pas tenue, leurs indemnités de session.
A meeting organized to vote the 2023 budget resulted to a fight between council members and the mayor. The mayor, who is also accused of lack of collaboration and communication with his councillors, dismissed these allegations. It is bad faith to say there's lack of communication in the Matoma Council. There is nothing to hide in this municipality. We can't be here for the voting of a financial budget and others are talking of administrative account management. The divisional officer who was present at the council session was able to restore peace. The councillors in the end signed some projects for the betterment of the inhabitants, but still call on the mayor to provide documents to justify the use of the council fund.
We told you in the headlines in the West region, precisely in Bangante in the Nde division, the local population are complaining of the absence of potable water. The water which is available now in Bangante is of doubtful quality because the people now resort to boreholes and springs, which obviously is not fit or healthy for consumption. Lucy Liengu is here, has more. We come back to this report of Lucy Liengu is here. She takes us to Bangante in the West region where the local population, they are complaining of the absence of potable water. They say they now resort to water of doubtful quality, springs and boreholes. The consumption of that source of water is not healthy, it's not good for their health. Lucy Liengu is here, has more. And now we come back to this report, ladies and gentlemen, as we, at a time when the Minister for Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, is banning the use of whips in schools, violence continue in most schools across the national territory. We now take you to Melong in the Mongo division, where a fight ensued between a teacher and his student, and peace or calm was only restored with the intervention of the SU and security forces. Let's now have more in this report.
The senior divisional officer of Melong, alongside security officials in the Mongo division of the Littoral region, arrived at St. Michael Balingwa High School, Melong, and College Chumo Aaron when all the students were out of their classrooms. Classes were interrupted as a thorough search was initiated. This is following a fight which led to the exchange of weapons on campus, a situation which called the attention of the divisional officer on what leads to violence in schools.
L'alcoolisme, le tabagisme.
Alcohol, smoking and violence in school, be it between students or students and teachers, should stop. I'm surprised that on a Monday morning at 7:30 classes have not started.
Un lundi matin, à 7h30, les cours n'ont pas commencé.
Over 100 phones and white arms were seized from the students by the forces of law and order. According to the school administrative authority, the coming of the security officials, as they have limited means to contain the students.
Vous savez, nous, chefs d'établissement, on n'a pas assez de moyens de répression.
We school administrators do not have the means and all that it takes to contain these students, especially when it comes to indiscipline.
Qui ne cadre plus avec le domaine intérieur.
The role of the parent in the education of their children is important, says the divisional officer.
Et nous allons respecter la réglementation.
We need to convocate parents of these students so that they can properly follow up their children for a better education.
Étudier à leur niveau pour que ces enfants reçoivent une éducation de qualité.
A joint effort is therefore expected from both parents, teachers and the authorities to fight violence in schools.
And now let's come back to this report on the absence of potable water in the West region. In Bangante, to be more precise, the local population have now resorted to water of doubtful quality. Let's now have more with Lucille Ngo.
For several months, the population of Bangante, Nde Division, have been unable to drink potable water. Most of them rely on this spring to fetch water. Unfortunately, it can only serve part of the population. According to Sanjun Sanjong, an inhabitant, they go through long distances in search of water. It is very stressful. We have to sometimes travel just to fetch water. We can't proudly say we are in Bangante. When we dig wells, they get dry. Springs, wells and boreholes are now the only options left for the inhabitants, who also complain the quality of water from these sources cannot be trusted as it affects their health. Some have seized the opportunity to carry and sell water gotten from boreholes. Nyako Godlove, local of Bangante, says the activity has become his source of income. He carries water supplies to some houses. He adds that he finds it difficult to reach out to everybody because everyone needs water, but it's not enough. Some people get angry with him, thinking he does not want to supply water. The situation to him is becoming unbearable.
Il faut que tous, le gouvernement fasse tout pour que l'eau revienne à Bangante.
A source from Camwater, the company in charge of water supply in Cameroon, decries the absence of water supply facilities. While waiting on the authorities, the people say the problem of potable water persists.
And now this element just getting to us. The death of Barrister Sylvain Swap provokes contradiction. We come back to this element. The death of Barrister Sylvain Swap, former militant of the CRM political party, provokes contradictory reactions after a report on the death or his death surfaces in public view several years after investigations. Let's now have more in this report. And now we go on to sports. Cameroonian heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou has been stripped of